All right, good morning, traders. Let's just jump straight into the setups. Starting off with ALSI yearly high low, currently trading between the 100 and 127. As we are holding above this 100, you can see this week we found support there once again. So long as we hold above it, we're looking at this 127 as a target. If we can close below 100, I'd like to use that as confirmation to look at the 61.8, because as you see, we're really struggling to break below that. So for me, I'd wait for a close really to get that confirmation. Then again, we even had that close here, and the very next week we shot back up. So it's very difficult to say right now. As it is though, just so long as we're holding above it, I'm looking at this 127 as a target. 8 is above 21, above 50, indicating trend is up, and stochastic is above signal line, indicating trend is up as well. All right, onto the monthly high-low. Currently trading between 61 and 77. That is our support and resistance. 8 is above 21, above 50. So currently trend is up here on the ALSI, although we are struggling a little bit with, if you see here, our moving averages are starting to turn over. So even though trend is up, we are starting to come off a little bit there. And you can see it characterized in our stochastic, how it's become a little bit zigzaggy, and now it's on our signal line. We haven't quite broken below it. We're kind of holding on to the same level there. But if we do break below it, that'll be the first signs of a change in trend. And what I'd like to see is break into consolidation zone, see the other side, and only below 38 actually look at targets to the downside. Currently, as we're above 61, I'm looking at this 89 as a target to the top side. All right, weekly high-low. Weekly high-low, we're currently trading just above that zero. We're looking for a candle close break, previous candle high. Unfortunately, here on the hourly, that risk to reward is completely out. So we can't actually look for that trigger over here. It's almost all the way to first target. But as we are above zero, we can look at this 23 and 38 targets to the top side. As we're pushing up there, we're also looking at our 50 moving average as a potential target. 8 is below 21, but we can see how rounding we are there and how we're getting very close to a crossover. So once we do get that crossover, we can confirm a change in trend to the top side, with specialist stochastic being above signal line at the moment, getting ready for that change in trend as we're pushing up there. I just want to look at daily high and low. Let's go to a 5-minute time frame. Right now, since we're trading between the 89 and 77, we can only look for a long above 100 to 127 and final target 1 to 161, and the next short will be below 38.2. As it is, 8 is below 21, but we're trading above 50, so we're just in a little bit of consolidation right now. I'd like to see actually just a break at these highs or break at these lows before confirming any trend. Stochastic is below signal line, but you can see I was pushing up so hard, getting ready for a crossover there. So I just say really we are in consolidation at the moment, and we need a bit more of a stronger push before we can really confirm any real direction. Aussie opening range. Yeah, I apologize, guys. This morning I was a little bit late in the charts. And by the time I sent out this Aussie opening range chart, we'd already hit first target, so it would have been way too late to type anything there. But you can see how fast we hit first, second targets and pushed all the way back up almost into consolidation. So it is mostly a lot because we don't have the greatest range, only 100 points to first target, which isn't so great. So by the time we started moving, we pushed through these levels very quickly. As it is, there's no setups for any top triggers. We need to retrace back to our 50 level here before we can actually look at any additional setups. All right, onto DAX yearly high low. We're currently trading between 50 and 38.2. That's our support and resistance. 8 is below 21, price below 50 has confirmed the trend is down. Stochastic is below signal line, broken down through 38 as well, confirming that the momentum is down as well. Everything is indicating that we want to be short actually on the DAX. It's just the support here at 38.2 that has held us, the 89 moving average on the weekly that has held. And the fact that we're bouncing off that and pulling back very, very hard like this does suggest that potentially this is the end of the move. Don't want to call tops and bottoms, but that support came in very, very strong. And I'd like to first see break below 38.2 before chasing any more targets to the downside on the weekly picture. On the daily picture for the monthly high low, you can see that support also came in here, negative 127. and we failed to get a close below that. So we did break, so we couldn't really look at this target 120, 161, because as we broke, we started pushing back up. For me, above the 0, I'm going to start looking for targets to the top side. Once again, this 38 of the monthly could be pushing back up to the 50 moving average. As it is, trend is down at 8 below 21, price below 50, and stochastic below signal line. But you can see with that support there and with signal line start getting ready to potentially cross up over through above the signal line, stochastic above the signal line, then we could be looking at the beginnings of a change in trend over there. All right, weekly high low. No setups for shorts at the moment. We hit first and second target earlier this week. So what we're looking at is only a setup for a long above 0 to 23 and 38. Just watch. We do need to get candle close, break previous candle high on the hourly there. So just watch out for risk to reward. That needs to be all right before we can take that trade. As it is, 8 is above 21, so we've got that crossover to confirm. Stochastic is above signal line, confirming the change in trend to the top side. I would just like to see break this 50 moving average. We're holding on to that quite intensely. And if I just add over here, I can put the 155 in, but what I actually want to look at is the 89. You can see there it is just above the 11. So if we've got that close above 50, we broke that high. That is that indication to that we should be going back to that 89. But as that happened, we pushed all the way back. So I'd like to just wait once again for a clean close above 50 and break that high to indicate going back to this 89. That's sort of the target to the top side for me on the hourly right now. Here we have our daily high low. Looking for a setup for a long above 100 and shorts below 38. It's very similar to the ALSI in the sense that we are a bit consolidated here. If you look at our stochastic, how zigzaggy it is, we actually needed to break below signal line. It has broken below signal line, indicating the trend is down, but we are holding above 50 moving average. But 89 is also crossed over. So moving average is a little bit of a mess, and our stochastic is it's a little bit of a mess as well. So I'm just waiting, really. I'd like to wait for an actual trigger on our daily high low before we can confirm. And at the time of the trigger, I'll use our moving averages to kind of confirm. So ideally, by the time we break above 100, I want to see 8 cross 21, which will happen because it's very shallow at the moment. Especially if we get a short below 38.2, by then everything would have crossed and untangled themselves. That will be quite a nice short to take if we do keep pushing down. Otherwise, with this long above 100, that will be a nice confirmation that we're breaking resistance and breaking out of this consolidation. Right, and opening ranges we'll get to in a little bit. We have some time still. I think, if I'm not mistaken, about 13 minutes. So I'm just going to set up my charts here. See how there we've got a couple 5-minute candles to still go. The DAX itself has already opened there in Germany, but you can see what little that has done. So it's really just the FTSE that we're waiting for to give us that oomph. So if you look at our opening price today, that little doji, we've held on to that level most today, trading a little bit below it at the moment, but with opening we could expect to go back to it, push above it. I'd like to wait for that FTSE open before to confirm. All right, guys, Monet is going to take over the 1-minute setup, so he's going to lead for you guys this morning.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back for some more trading. Sam, thank you so much for the setups. Go through the 1-minute stories real quick. Let's go through where we can place our 1-minute grid. Just let me get the right charts over here. There we go. One-minute grid from significant high to low. Let's just have a quick look. It's stochastic 5.5. There we have 1.3 and 0. So this can be our new low. Seek the high coming from the highs of today. So from the highs of today, all the way down. So the high of the 1 minute grid on my chart will be 531 and the low will be 706. We do have a possible extension fib setup. This is the 5 minutes. The 5 minute the grid from high to low. Let me just give you those times. The high on my chart is 530 and the low is coming from yesterday's low, which is 730 yesterday. Currently the 5 minute grid. So have a quick look at where we can place our extension fibs. See from low, just make this one red. There we go, more than 8 candles creating the 50% retracement. You can see we have that 50% retracement right there. 33 up through 50 will not be a valid trigger for long. Signal line is still above the stochastic and above the 50. Keep in mind, 5 minute, we have resistance from the 89 of the 5 minute grid. Support is the 77. Have a quick look on where we are on the bigger time frames. The daily high low currently, next level of resistance is the 89, support also the 77. Daily high low almost exactly the same as the 5 minute grid. So about 9 minutes until opening. Just give price time to do its thing. I have a 5 minute trend is down. So we can put a potential sell stop at these lows. However, this is first wait for opening. Don't want to rush into it or get caught in a volatile market. So you're almost getting at the 61.8% retracement on the extension fib. Getting very close to that. Signal line is slightly below the 50, 33 up through 50. Still, I won't take it, even though signal line is below the 50. The 61.8 is also exactly on the 23.6 of the 1 minute grid. Put a small extension fib on the 5 minute over there. We can also see currently the 5 minutes. We are sitting perfectly with a 61.8% retracement on the 5 minutes from low to swing high. About 6 minutes until the market opens. I'm also just waiting for the ranges to increase a little bit with the opening. So you can actually push for 5 to 10 point targets and hit them. At 33 up through 50 will be a valid trigger for long. However, I'm sitting out of it as I'm waiting for market open. About 4 minutes to go. Let's just give the market time to open. We can currently see 1 minute. We're just ranging around these areas around the 50 and the 23.6 of the 1 minute grid. Still sitting at this extension fib. Let's just wait and see if we are going to push into a certain direction. Currently also just sitting in between the 89 and the 77 of the 5 minute grid. Support is the 155 moving average. We can see trend is down 5 minutes. Got the 21 moving average above the 8. Stochastic is below signal line and also trading below this 40 level. So let's just give that some time. Next level of resistance, that 155 moving average on the 1 minute. Just keep an eye on that. Also approach this 50 level of the 1 minute grid. Next up, that 61.8, similar level to the 100. Coming from almost 61% retracement on the extension fib. We have reached that 50% retracement, so break of 100 extension fib fail. We aim for the 77 of 1 minute, or at least the minus 127 of the extension fib. A couple of seconds to go, then we'll open. On 5 minutes, the stochastic is busy breaking above the signal line again. have opened.
As we've opened there on the DAX's watch, on the 5 minutes, we're still holding on tightly to that 50 moving average.
Extension fail over there. And the DAX 5-minute trend is busy changing a little bit. You can see starting to get that potential 821 crossover. However, we need price to break above the 50 moving average on 5 minutes and close bullish in order to get that 821 crossover. So for now, we can't put any buy stops. $33 down through 50 will be a valid trigger short. Tend to wait for the first 5-minute candle after opening before we take any trades, just so we can see which direction market is pushing. See, there's still a lot of volatility at the moment. Next level of resistance on the 5-minute is at 100 of the 5-minute grid. Support 89. On the 1-minute grid, resistance is at 77. Just need this 5-minute candle to close to confirm if we have an uptrend on the 5 minutes. Just going to put this extension foot to the side for a bit. Let's see from high to low if we're going to get that 89% retracement on the 1-minute grid.
On the 5 minutes, we've broken above that 50 moving average, pushing towards 100 on the daily.
Hit that 77. Break above the 77 off the 1-minute grid. 5-minute also pushing towards this 100 off the 5-minute grid above that 50 moving average. Looks like we might get a 5-minute change in trend. 8 crossing above 21. We can then look for possibilities of putting our buy stops. A couple more seconds to go for the first 5 minutes. All right, we've got our first 5-minute candle over there. So you can see that the trend on 5-minute has changed. 8 is above 21. I'll put my buy stop above this 100. Other than that, if you want to take a short 33 stochastic down to 50 is a valid short. Keep in mind 1-minute and 5-minute trend is up. Also, just watch out. Our buy stops at the moment is on that 100 of the daily, so we need to push a little bit above it to get that 5 points. See if it's going to be taking our buy stop. As I said, next level of resistance is the 100 of the daily high-low, as well as the 100 of the 5-minute grid, and the 100 of the extension fib. Sorry, 1-minute grid. You can see we're struggling with that 89 level on the 1-minute grid at the moment as resistance. See if it's going to be activating our buy stop.
Watch the 100 of the daily over there. It's just about 8 points away from where we are now.
Yeah. A little bit scared about that. See, triggered the buy stop, pushed price above this 100, and immediately just pulled back. And just trail the 5-minute and the 1-minute grid. Stop for me at the straight, break previous candle low. That is the stop. Took TP on that one. And keep trailing these grids. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, guys, watch DAX daily highlight trigger above 100 for long. About 15 minutes to go for opening range levels. The DAX is really taking off, eh?
Yeah, it's just shooting up. I'm not gonna. I'm trying to get the levels together now, but I think I'm just gonna rather wait until we're done. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's, playing a chasing game.
Now, the daily high low has triggered. I mean, that first target, that is quite a while. I mean, from 100 to 127, 130 points, which is a lot. Current level of resistance, 0 of the monthly and 0 of the weekly. Very strong levels. Also, watch out above 0 of the weekly, trigger for a long. As 500 trend is up, we can start looking for possibility of a buy stop. See, they're actually not giving us any opportunity for this run. We need about 2 candles closing below this high. Put the buy stops. Also, if you guys are interested, Dow daily high low also starting to trigger above 61.8. We've hit that 0 of the weekly. That might be the strong resistance we are facing at the moment. Keep in mind, if this candle closes below this high, we can put a buy stop at the 100. But we've possibly found the high of opening range. Just put a buy stop over there. .5 points. No extension flip set up yet. Keep in mind on the DAX 5 minutes, we're about 86 points away from the 50 moving average on 5 minutes. Also possibility of a 33 down through 50 that will be valid. Keep in mind 5 minute trend is up, so 33 down through 50, I'll only go for 5 points. Not a valid separation for long. 11 hasn't retraced far enough. Should retrace below the 50, then push back up for the trigger. But we still have our buy stop in play. One, two, three, four, five, six. See if we can start pulling a possible extension fib. We need 8 or more candles. Watch for possible separation for long. If this 11 closes below 50, pushes back up. It's in direction of 5 minute trend, so it is a valid long. We have our 8th candle. Let's see if we get that 50% retracement from this. Right at the 89. if we do get a separation for long, I'm not going to take it since we are so very close to this no trading zone between, sorry, between 89 and 100. Plus the 50% retracement of this extension flip is on that 89. So I'd rather sit out of the separations and keep my buy stop in there. Watch our possibility of a 33 down through 50. Keep in mind, we are quite extended to the upside on the 5 minutes. Candle close below the 11, break previous candle low, we aim for the 22. Candle close below the 22, break previous candle low, we'll be aiming for the 50. Going to put this extension flip on the side until we get our retracement so we can start measuring it.
As we're pushing down there, just watch the 100, the daily coming up.
And watch for possible trigger for separation long. We are extended from this 89 level, so I will take it now for the 5 points because 5 points won't get me to that 89. Just see we have a range of about 20 points. Let's see if we get that trigger quick enough. Five-minute trend is up, so 11 up through 50 is the trigger. A couple of seconds before we have to get our opening range levels. There we go, opening range is now available. Just going to draw my levels in real quick, guys. Push at 33 down to 50, trigger short. Keep in mind 5-minute trend is still up, so I won't be extending too much. Current level of support, 100 of the daily. We are on that level right now, as well as the 8 moving average on 5. Yeah, the 89 is the same as the 100 on the daily. So watch for the possible bounce from this support level. Waiting for the trigger. $33 down through 50. Waiting for 33 down through 50. Breaking below that 100 of the daily now. Very slow at the moment after the opening. And I'm short. Going for the 5 points. Support 61.8 of 1-minute grid. Here we go, took TP on that one. Next level of support, 50 moving average. You guys, I just want to prepare my opening range levels for the DAX as well. Here we go. One-minute trend has changed, so we can just delete this buy stop. 5-minute trend on the DAX is still up. 8 is still above 21. Price is above the 50. 1-minute trend is down. As soon as 5-minute trend also changes to the downside, we can look for sell stop opportunities. We hit this 50 level of the 1-minute grid as well. That is current level of support. Let's just see if we can possibly start measuring an extension fib. It is a bit big, but let's see if we get that 50% retracement after all. Almost 50% retracement from high to low. That 50 level is very close to the 77 of the 1-minute grid as well. So watch these two significant levels of resistance. As soon as we get closer to this 89 level, we'll put another buy stop at the 100 because 5-minute trend is still up. Got that 50% retracement. This extension fib is valid. It might be a leg down, so bringing us a possible 0 to A down, A to B, and now with this retracement, B to C down. market is actually moving very slowly, hey Sam?
Yeah, no, so it's really taking its time. Even on the Dow, we've been at the edge of that 61 of opening for this basic ever since. So I'm typing now. We must watch for a trigger long, but might be a while still.
You can see, but clearly on the Dow and stuff was holding us is that 61.8 of opening range.
Yeah, no, that's very clear there. But yeah, I've sent the levels out so the guys can just watch for that in the meantime. NASDAQ's also getting ready, so I'm going to send those levels out as well. And I'll just let the guys know when we actually trigger.
Yeah, on the DAX at the moment, guys, no triggers I can see on the 1 minute. Just if we get a 8 and 21, as we get closer to this 89 of the 1 minute grid, I'll just put my buy stop at the 100 because 5 minute trend is still up, but currently no stochastic triggers that I can see. The 77 of the 1 minute grid currently just holding as resistance. One minute just moving to the side at the moment. Clearly see coming from resistance era of weekly, bouncing off support, 50 moving average on 5 and 100 of the daily.
And this market's gone really bad in the last 10 minutes.
It's just very slow.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
picking up a little bit above that 77 at the moment. Just pull this extension fib different way around. See, got that 61.8% retracement heading towards the 77. Let's put our buy stops in here just for in case. 5 points. The 77% retracement on the extension fib, 89 level of resistance on the 1 minute grid. Resistance to 0 of the monthly coming up and 0 of the weekly again. Also resistance 61.8 of opening range. That can also be very significant. Watch another trigger for a short, 33 down through 50 will be valid. Signal line is above the 50 level. Stochastic breakdown to 50 trigger short. Coming from the 77% retracement and this 89 level of the 1 minute grid. Above that 89 now.
On the DAX, it was pushing against 0 of the monthly and 0 of the weekly. Just below that double top.
Watch that as we move closer to the 100 level.
She's been throwing up so much.
Support now the 89 of the 1 minute grid. We need to break above this 100 level in order to get that trigger above the double top levels. Have a lot of resistance at this point. Also perfect 89% retracement on the extension fib. We can see that. Watch a break above that 100. That will trigger the buy stop. Got so close to breaking above that 100 level at the moment. About 9 more minutes to go for the 11 o'clock candle. Market is very, very, very slow at the moment. Candles are very small, about 8-point candles. Where on other days we get about 20 to 30-point candles. Struggling with that 89 of the extension fib. for a short possibility of a 33 down through 50 coming from an 89% retracement on the extension fib. At 33 down through 50 will be valid. Keep in mind 5-minute trend is still up. You've hit that zero of the weekly on the 5 minutes, bouncing currently from that level. That is significant resistance. Or we can be setting up for possible trigger separation. Keep in mind, I'm not taking a separation since we're already again so close to these 89 and 77 levels. You can see how good we respected that 89% retracement on extension fib.
Yeah, that was also the zero of the weekly and monthly. So massive support there and resistance.
Waiting for that possible 33 down through 50 for the shorts.